Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another Rhode Island Philharmonic Friday. I'm David Beauchesne, Executive Director, and I'm here with our Artistic Advisor and Conductor, Bramwell Tovey, and Artistic Administrator, David Gasper. Each week, we're going to get together to talk about some of next season's upcoming concerts and other musical topics that interest us. We plan to invite members of the orchestra, our faculty members, and some special guests, including guest artists from next season. Today, having just come off of Passover and Easter, I've been thinking about how my lifelong experience with Easter is so shaped by music. As I'm sure for many, every Easter that I can remember, I've been in a church full of people, either singing or playing music. Bramwell and David, I'm sure the two of you have your own powerful musical associations with the Easter holiday. I wonder what it was like for you this Easter as you were quarantined at home and how it compares to other Easters you've experienced.
We traveled to Rome and to King's College, Cambridge to see the Easter service. And having been in St. Peter's, Rome a few years ago and seen how colossal it is. I mean, I think you could fit St. Paul's Cathedral inside St. Peter's, Rome, St. Paul's, London inside St. Peter's, Rome. It's so colossal. And when we were there, it was so crowded. So to be in what was a deserted St. Peter's and hearing what was a religious setting was interesting for me. I'm not a Catholic. I was brought up in the Salvation Army. And then conversely, to travel to King's College, Cambridge, where it was all about the singing. And the climax for me, despite the excellent tradition of King's College Choir, which is a wonderful sound, personally, I have misgivings about the way that particular side of English church music phrases music. But every single mark and semicolon and punctuation in a hymn accounts for 7/8 of a beat of breath or something like that, which to me destroys the line. But that's just really being oversharing, probably. But
I agree with you.
The thing I found awesome was that there was an arrangement of "Were You There When They Crucified My Lord," which I believe I'm right in saying was an American spiritual.
Yes.
Yeah. And is an incredibly beautiful and provocative hymn, asking the rhetorical question, quiet confrontation of the evangelical pastor, in a sense. It's an amazing tune, and it was harmonized fully in the Western tradition. And the climax of the arrangement was, to me, awe-inspiring. For me as a boy, Easter was about hymns like "Up from the Grave He Arose," with a mighty triumph over his foes, played on Salvation Army bands, and also hymns like "There Is a Green Hill Far Away," which actually is a universal hymn, which actually began the King's College service. So we were in Cambridge and Rome over Easter. Where were you, David?
Where was I? I usually play an Easter service. Probably for the last 25 years, I've been playing the same Easter service at the Cathedral of St. Peter and Paul in Providence. So it's been a job for me every Easter. And it's magnificent. They have a wonderful organ there. And it's quite a lot of splendor, pomp and circumstance and all of that. This time I didn't do anything really. I don't generally celebrate Easter, but I have been listening to a lot of good music at home. So I've been cloistering myself and listening to Bach from time to time, which is as close as I come to religious music.
My mom was a church organist, now retired, but for most of my life, she was a church organist. And so my earliest memories of Easter are basically, sitting very close to where the choir was at Easter Vigil service with candlelight and choir and organ and and a lot of Bach and just it it permeates that holiday for me. For many years, we've celebrated at Central Congregational Church in Providence, which has a wonderful choir and organist and music program. And they did an incredible job this year of us being able to tune in on the television, and they had a choir. They had the brass choir with the choir, and they really managed to do a great job. One of the pieces they did was actually by a composer who used to lead the Providence Singers here, Julian Wachner. They did a wonderful piece of his on the service, so it was nice to hear his work again. He now leads the Trinity Choir at Trinity Church, Wall Street in New York, which is quite a wonderful ensemble. And so yeah, it was great. And then I spent the day just listening to a lot of Bach. I hope all of you joining us today found your own way to experience some music that's meaningful to you this past week. We'll be back next week to talk about our second concert of next season and get Bramwell's take on what it's like to conduct Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, which is on the program. In the meantime, stay home, stay safe, be well, and thanks for listening.